Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1. We have been reading that Vasudeva, he's trying to give knowledge to Kans. He's trying to pacify Kamsa, telling him not to be so fearful of death and that anyone who is born has to die. So, reading on, text 42. Yato yato dhavati deva choditam
Yato yato bhavati
Devotam
mano vikaratmakam apapanchasu.
mano vikara pancha
Panchasu
Guneshu maya rachiteshu dehi asau
guneshu maya
Maya Rachi
ratiteshu dehi sau
prapadyamana sahate na jayate.
Prapadyamana Sahatena Jayate.
Translation and purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. At the time of death, according to the thinking, feeling and willing of the mind, which is involved in fruitive activities, one receives a particular body. In other words, the body develops according to the activities of the mind. Changes of body are due to the flickering of the mind, for otherwise the soul could remain in its original spiritual body. So, here Vasudeva is very clearly telling him that what is our thought process at the time of death. Based on that we will receive our next body. We heard also fourth canto Narad Muni saying that to Prachina Parishad, that but with our mind we are creating our next body. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, what we are thinking of at the time of death, to that's the body we are going to receive. So we can see that it's so important. What are we thinking, feeling, and willing? What we are doing throughout our life, what our mind is so occupied with throughout our life, most probably that's what we are going to be thinking at the time of death. One can very easily understand that the mind is constantly flickering, changing in the quality of its thinking, feeling, and willing. This is explained by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 6:34. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayor iva sudushkaram. The mind is chanchal, flickering, and it changes very strongly. So Arjuna is telling to Krishna that the mind is so chanchal. Our mind keeps changing. It drives us crazy. Therefore, Arjuna admitted that controlling the mind is not at all possible. This would be as difficult as controlling the wind. And this is a great personality, a great warrior like Arjuna who is saying that to Krishna. Arjuna is saying, I think I can control the wind, but I don't think I can control the mind. For example, if we were in a boat moving according to the wind on a river or the sea, and the wind were uncontrollable, the tilting boat would be very much disturbed and extremely difficult to control. It might even capsize. Therefore, in the Bhava Samudra, the ocean of mental speculation and transmigration to different types of bodies, one must first control the mind. So we can see why the mind control is so important. Because based on our mind, then we are going to get our next body. By regulative practice, one can control the mind. And this is the purpose of the yoga system. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Krishna is telling to Arjun that by practice and detachment, one can control the mind. But there is a chance of failure with the yoga system, especially in this age of Kali, because the yoga system uses artificial means. If the mind is engaged in bhakti yoga, however, by the grace of Krishna, one can very easily control it. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. One should chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, for the holy name of the Lord is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Person. So if one tries to control the mind by yoga, in the previous ages it was possible, but for us Kali Yuga people it is very difficult. We don't have such long lives and our minds are very, very disturbed. And so that's why the recommendation for us to control our mind in this age is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. The Hare Krishna mantra is Krishna himself. Krishna is present here in the material world right now. And that's the holy name. Krishna is present as the holy name. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra constantly, one can fix the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo. And in this way achieve the perfection of yoga. Otherwise, the flickering mind will hover on the platform of mental speculation for sense enjoyment, and one will have to transmigrate from one type of body to another because the mind is trained only in relation to the material elements, or in other words, to sense gratification, which is false. So, since millions of lives, we have the same mind. We change our gross body, but our mind, intelligence, false ego is there with us since we are here in the material world. And our mind, our intelligence, what only looking for? Sense enjoyment. That's it. And that's how we are getting different bodies in this material world. Now, if we at all want to stop it, we have to engage it in devotional service. Engage the mind, the intelligence in devotional service. Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimudhan. Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 43. Rascals, Vimudhan, being controlled by mental speculation, make huge arrangements by which to enjoy life temporarily, but they must give up the body at the time of death, when everything is taken away by Krishna's external energy. Mrityu Sarva Haras Chaham. So we can see our modern civilization. We have progressed, we have so much advancement, but we cannot stop death. And at death, we are forced to leave behind everything that we have worked for. So it's not easy for us. We are not even able to understand that, oh, one day I have to leave this. We are still so engrossed that, no, I have to get this, I have to do this. We have so many things that we have created artificially for us. But actually, the only thing that we need is to chant Hare Krishna. At that time, whatever one has created in this life is lost, and one must automatically accept a new body by the force of material nature. In this life, one may have constructed a very tall skyscraper, but in the next life, because of one's mentality, one may have to accept a body like that of a cat, a dog, a tree, or perhaps a demigod. Thus, the body is offered by the laws of material nature. So how we have worked, based on that we will get a next body. Karanam guna sangosya sad asad yoni janmasu. Bhagavad Gita 13.22. The spirit soul takes birth in higher and lower species of life only because of his association with the three qualities of material nature. So we are hearing here that how, because the mind is associated with sense enjoyment, how we are taking different bodies. sometimes going to the lower planets, sometimes to higher planets. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha, madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganya guna vrittistha, adho gachanti tamasaha. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets. And those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. Bhagavad Gita 14.18. So where are the modes going to lead us? Mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Goodness will lead us to Swargalok,
Mm-hmm.
and the Rajogun will lead us to the Prithvi,
Yeah, earthly planets.
earthly
Yeah.
planet, and the Tamoguni will go to the hell.
Yeah,
The mode of ignorance will lead us to the hell.
ignorance. Yeah. In conclusion, the Krishna consciousness movement offers the topmost welfare activity for human society. Now, why is it being called topmost welfare activity? Paropakar. To stop this suffering for the soul, to help the soul to go back to the spiritual world, to stop the cycle of birth and death. When we give knowledge of Krishna, when we encourage others to engage in devotional service, then we are helping them stop their suffering permanently. The saner section of human society must therefore take this movement very seriously for the benefit of all humanity. To save oneself from the repetition of birth and death, one must purify his consciousness. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. One must be freed from all designations. I am American. I am Indian. I am this. I am that. And come to the platform of understanding that Krishna is the original master and we are his eternal servants. So we need to come to this platform and to encourage others to come to this platform. Otherwise, we are going to continue living in this material world. We are thinking right now, I'm a man or a woman, I'm Indian or American or Taiwanese, or I belong to this country, this society, this nationality. You know, our mind is all the time engaged in these things, all the time. But somehow or the other, we have to bring our mind to Krishna. So chanting Hare Krishna helps. Hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita helps. And we need to come to understand that I am eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. Otherwise, we are thinking I'm the body. But our real identity, our Swarup is that we are servants of Krishna. When the senses are purified and engaged in Krishna's service, one achieves the highest perfection. So how can we understand that, okay, I am servant of Krishna? How can one understand?
When our senses are purified and
Yeah, and
we
how
are
to purify the senses.
by chanting Hare Krishna and serving the devotees in association, in their
Yeah,
association, by hearing about Krishna, by speaking about Krishna,
yeah.
chanting,
Engaging the senses in service of
chanting.
Krishna. That's right. Hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, serving the deity, serving the devotees. Yes. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. The Krishna consciousness movement is a movement of Bhakti Yoga, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. By following the principles of this movement, one becomes disassociated from material mental concoctions and is established on the original platform of the eternal relationship between the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead as servant and master. This, in summary, is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. So here Vasudeva is telling Kans, that whatever you think of, that's how your next body is going to be. And Srila Prabhupada, we can see that he's taking this opportunity to explain to us that purify the thinking, feeling, and willing, and get a spiritual body, get out of this material world. And not only that we purify ourselves, but we help others also. And that is the highest benefit we can do to others, the highest welfare activity, giving Krishna to others, giving the holy name to others, encouraging them to chant Hare Krishna. Right now, our mind, mental concoctions, material mental concoctions, our mind, we are thinking so many things. We are seeing our life through this mind, but actually we are the spirit soul. And only by engaging in devotional service will we be able to realize this knowledge. So the more we hear, the more we chant, the more we will be able to understand it. Did you want to add anything, anyone?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. And above the above the mind is the intelligence, right? Buddhi. So if your
Yes.
mind is in a proper thinking, in a proper this thing, so the intelligence guides you, right? To take up the right thing.
Yeah,
So does
that's
an
right.
intelligence also play an important role in this?
Yes, yes, it does. But what has happened is that we are letting the mind rule us. So, the mind makes us crazy. But as you said, yes, we need to use our intelligence to control the mind. That's right. That's what is needed. And so, right now, if our intelligence is how can I only engage in sense gratification, we have to purify that intelligence. So, the more we hear from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the more our intelligence will be purified. And then we will be able to control the mind. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because the intelligence also needs to get the inspiration from the soul, actually. That's the hierarchy, right? That the
Yeah.
soul guides the intelligence, intelligence will guide the mind. So that's why it's so important to hear from the scriptures so that we can have the correct intelligence.
But the intelligence is the one, right, that decides, okay, this is right and this is not right. Like,
Yes,
correct.
it helps us discriminate. That's right.
Discriminate.
Yes, that's right.
Hare
And the
Krishna,
nature of
Shilpa
the
ji.
mind is, Hare
No,
Krishna.
no, no, no. Yeah, please, you continue. I can. Yeah.
So the nature of the mind is that we are thinking, feeling, and willing. Just because the mind says, okay, I want to do this, I don't want to do this. I like to do this, I like to not to do this, without considering the intelligence. So this is what Vasudeva is saying, that don't just listen to the mind. And Srila Prabhupada is saying, purify the mind, purify the thoughts by engaging the senses in Krishna's service. Then automatically we will have good intelligence, good discrimination. And then we can guide the mind. Yes, Nehas, you were saying something.
Yeah, there's Nita Sevni Mataji, and she always said in her one of the lectures about the mind, how to control your mind, that you have to empower your intelligence. And like how we talk, that how will you empower your intelligence? So you have to provide the Bhagavad Gita as a food. Like, you have to give that intelligence to your mind. You have to empower it with the right resource. Like you read Bhagavad Gita. So the right thing is going on. And now, when your mind will tell you that, come on, let me do this. But no, then because you have empowered your intelligence will take over, and your intelligence will tell that, no, you cannot eat it. It's not offered to Krishna. How can you eat it? So that is how, only if we empower the intelligence, then our intelligence can help. Otherwise, if we don't empower the intelligence, then definitely the mind will take over, because we haven't empowered it. We haven't provided it enough support to support the mind or to control the mind. So we need to provide enough resource, in the sense that we chant more, yes, that is, but then we also need to hear and read more, so that when the time comes, then intelligence has something to tell the mind that, listen, you can't do this. Haven't you heard the Shastras? Haven't you heard the Guru? What your Guru tells you? Or don't you know the Shastras? So we have to empower our intelligence.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, like even in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it says, no? Higher than the mind is intelligence. And then above intelligence, again, meditation. I mean, that steps like which,
Yeah.
how to engage. I don't know if it's, because I think it's there in the 12th chapter.
Yeah, it's there in Bhagavad Gita, but I'm not sure
Bhagavad
about the 12th chapter, but it is there.
Yeah, it's in the 12th chapter.
They tell that how to control, like you have
Control
to,
the, yeah, I think,
mind.
yeah,
Yeah, you
correct,
have, because
yes.
when Arjuna is telling that I cannot the chanchal man, so then you fix your mind upon me. Yeah, then Krishna says that you just think about me.
12th chapter. I'm looking for the intelligence. I mean, engage all your intelligence in me. Krishna is saying that. Engage all your intelligence in me, and then with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Fix your mind and engage all your intelligence in me. Yeah, those are the two references. Yeah. Fix your mind and intelligence on me, Krishna is saying. So,
And one thing more, I just wanted to share in regard of this, like, how कि हमारा जो मन होता है, जो हमारे इंद्रिया होते हैं, जो हमारे sense gratification हम अभी कर रहे हैं. So in the Kapila Muni third canto, I think it's chapter 29 or chapter 30. Oh my God, if you read the last part of it, it is so eye-opening and terrifying both. In the sense that the Kapila Muni is instructing Mother Devahuti that, mother, the person who is only thinking about the sense gratification all his life. There are two paths, like after you die, where you go. There are two things, like either you go to the higher planets or you go to the Yamalok. So why they go to Yamalok? Because they have just been thinking about the sense gratification whole of their life. So the like what your mind thinks, like that is the importance, like whole, because we have wasted whole of our life in the sense gratification. Now what? So then those two parts, and then the other part, how he has described that you get the yatana sharir and everything. Oh my God, it is very nicely described in the third canto.
the soul is
Yes,
taken out, right, from the body
yes,
and the journey of the
how the soul,
soul.
and how the soul, and that was such a beautiful thing in the end of it, that how you need to practice everything, right? And then, so like, then the Yamraj makes you practice what kind of body you will get in the next life. So if you're going to get a body of a hog, then you're practiced in that hell of to eat the meat, and then you are given that body, imagine.
Yeah.
So you are like trained before you
Yeah,
get that
Trained.
body.
before you get that body.
Yeah.
So, oh my
Mm.
God, it was so scary. And the pictures are also there in the Canto third, because we were just reading this with Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. So that was yesterday, and it was really, really like eye opening and terrifying both. Yes.
Yeah, it's terrible. You're given training, just like how we were hearing that the devotee who's become
Yeah.
perfect in devotional service, he takes birth with where Krishna is appearing in the material
Appearance,
world
Leela.
to get
Yeah. So that is
training.
also the training, right, for him.
Yeah, that's
Before he
training.
goes there.
Then he
Yeah.
gets that birth and then he goes to the spiritual world to get training. So similarly, if we have to get training as dogs or pigs, then we are going to get that kind of training first and then put in that body. Mm. Yeah. So continue to hear and chant. Continue to hear and chant. Remember Krishna. Get attached to Krishna. Stop here.
Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.